LHMusicTime Radio Show.
I wanted to get Alan West on today because I think he's a brilliant man. A really, truly brilliant man. Brave man, honest man. And he's the only one out there really telling the truth about the Progressive Caucus. And he is absolutely 100% historically accurate. Politically, I don't know. I mean, certainly assume they're going to try to make him absolutely into Joseph McCarthy.
Well, look, how many of the Congressional Black Caucus, who also happen to be Progressive Caucus, members went to Cuba, fell in love with Fidel Castro, and came back to this country singing his praises and talking about what a great situation he's created country over the last 60 years? All of them, Barbara Lee, Bobby Rush, the whole group were in love with Fidel Castro and communism.
Okay. So he's getting all kinds of heat. He was on with Soledad O'Brien. We played this the other day. Alan's on with us. He'll be on with us there in a second. But I wanted to bring you up to speed on what's happening. Here's Soledad O'Brien from CNN, The Liberal.
I think it was last week, Jensen Beach, you were talking about members of the Communist Party. I'm going to play a little clip about what you said. You said, I believe there are 78 to 81 members of the Democratic Party that are members of the Communist Party. You mean like card-carrying members of the Communist Party?
Well, unfortunately, you didn't play the entire thing, and I talked about the Congressional Progressive Caucus, and we've been back and forth about this, and I've had to give quite a few people a little tutorial about the political spectrum of ideologies, and there's a thin separation. And at the turn of the century here in the United States of America, American communists renamed themselves progressive, but the strategy and the tactics and the ideology still remains the same.
Exactly
when you're a member of a caucus that actually wanted to have a constitutional amendment to redistribute wealth in the United States of America, I don't think that's in keeping with the principles and values of this country.
So name names for
now you interruption.
No, we do. I'm dying. Which are the members of
Soledad O'Brien, your interruption is over with.
Oh yeah, of all time.
Okay, so Alan West is
here.
To answer the charges. They are trying to make you look like Joseph McCarthy.
Alan.
Hey, Glenn, how you doing? And
I'm doing good, my brother.
Use the Saul Alinsky tactic of ridicule and castigate in a negative light, but they're not answering the question that I think the American people want to hear. What are the principles and values that they believe in? Do they believe in the growth of a bureaucratic nanny state? Do they believe in the constitutional republic? Do they believe in individual sovereignty, or do they believe in collective subjugation? Do they believe in economic freedom and a free market? Do they believe in nationalized production?
And they won't answer any of those questions.
And this is the debate America should have. Without shame on any side. Look, if America wants a big government that's run by an administrator, a bunch of stars, and a president who has really made Congress pretty much irrelevant. But you want to move in that direction, and you want all this free stuff, and you want everything that Marxist is preaching. Then make that case, and then we have to make the case that it's the wrong way. But they won't have that debate, and that is really the debate we should be having.
You're absolutely right, because this is a choice between two very different futures. And if we're not able to draw the contrast, which really does, as I tried to explain to Soledad, it comes down to an ideological separation on the principles of governance. And the American people have to realize that. And the American people have to be educated to be able to make the right type of decision. And I'm not going to apologize, or I'm not going to backtrack, because I think that this is an important decision that has to be made, and it's an important debate that has to be held in this country. And so all of this childish stuff that they're doing, and running around trying to do all the name calling, they're running away from the real issue. Who are you to stand for? Because when you go back and you look at the Woodrow Wilson administration, the creation of the Federal Reserve, that's a part of Marxist ideology with a centralized bank. When you look at how we took taxation from being on consumption to production, and the income tax was only supposed to be temporary. It was supposed to stay at low levels, but low rates, but now we have a president that's talking about using the tax code as a weapon of mass destruction and a tool for socio-economic divisiveness.
You are your Penthouse magazine for
conservative
right
now.
now.
That's what you are.
This is conservative porn.
This is us.
But this
Conservative
is good
porn.
stuff,
It's good stuff, man.
Sadly, you're the only one brave enough to say this stuff, Alan. Everybody else is so worried about their political future they won't do it. It's not only that.
You're the only guy.
Gentlemen, the bottom line is this: if you're not willing to make this case and make this debate, you don't have a political future because you're right. Country.
You're right.
You will have an administration, as you clearly articulated, that will create a shadow government run by czars that will really administrate and rule over this country. Let's be very honest. Hope and change has now been replaced by divide and rule. That's their goal. That's their objective.
But to be as frank as you are, is you know, we were talking about this earlier in the week when you said what you said, and we loved what you said, but we all thought, well, there goes any chance for him to be tapped as the next vice president of the United States.
I'm not worried about being tapped as the vice president.
I know, but we were.
My country.
We were worried about it.
All right, don't be so hard on Alan West, please.
If you remember right, we were willing to make you the president of the United States. We were going to put you at the top of the ticket, which you told us to stop doing. Okay, so we did.
All right, guys, that's enough, please. Let him finish.
Someone that does not have the courage to stand up for the person that really believes in.
It's true. We wouldn't. You're absolutely
right.
So you're the only guys that I've heard
about him.
This is a war on. It is a war on everybody. We're dividing everybody. And the latest from the White House is he didn't mean anything by saying silver spoon. He wasn't trying to say that Mitt Romney was born on a silver spoon. He's not against the rich.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, but see, truly, let's bring this out for what it is. You know, once again, President Obama showed he does not understand American exceptionalism, because everyone that is born in the United States of America is born with a silver spoon. It's the silver spoon of liberty, freedom, democracy. It's those individual rights, rights that come from our Creator, not from man, not from government, of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, which John Locke called property. It's the silver spoon that so many people have come to the shores of the United States of America, because it stands for equal opportunity, not equality of achievement that's dictated to you from on high. So, you know, I'm proud of the fact that I live in a country where, you know, we do give a silver spoon to everyone that's born here based upon their drive and determination. And we shouldn't run away from that. And once again, as I said, that shows that this president does not understand the basic ideals of American exceptionalism and the uniqueness of this constitutional republic.
You know, there's
oh God,
an interesting thing
is happening to me.
More people live below the poverty line in the 1940s. It was a staggering percentage. Way more. And yet, if you ask the American population in 1948, are you rich? Are you poor? Are you middle class? The majority, and again, it was like I think it was in the 90% average. Would say I'm middle class. And that's because everybody saw themselves as we're in it together. We're all one. Even though you might have been poor or you might have been rich, you saw yourself as middle class, and we were united on that. And now what? Al, I have to tell you, Pat and I got off the air yesterday, and he was coming up the stairs to my office, and I said, Pat, I have to tell you, I don't know how we survived this. I look at the news of the day, and I see the lies that are coming out of this administration, the lies that are coming out of the press, the way they have done everything they can to separate us in our faith, separate us in our gender, separate us in our racial, you know, it's crazy talk.
And it's all Marxist. It's the bourgeoisie versus the proletariat, in every way, shape, form, and fashion. And that is not what, you know, quote unquote, we were told that the president was a great uniter. Well, he's not. about developing this country so that he can be able to rule this country. And I have to be very specific in articulating that. And more people need to have the courage, who are conservatives, Republicans, whatever, to be able to draw that contrast. You're not going to win if you're not able to draw the contrast between who you are and what you stand for against the other side.
Have you sat down with Mitt Romney? How do you feel about him, and does he get this stuff?
Get this crazy stuff?
Well, I mean, I'm kind of busy trying to be a good congressional representative. I'd be more than happy to sit down with anyone and help them their message and to be able to, respond. But we have to identify who the other side is, and I think, when you go back to Sun Tzu and he talks about understanding your adversary and reading and studying their strategies and tactics, you got to go back and you have to read, Karl Marx, the Communist Manifesto. You have to read Engels. You have to read Saul Alinsky, because this is the playbook that they're using, and educate the American people on, how that is not in concert with the values of this constitutional republic and what our founding fathers created for us. And how the further we get away from that, the closer we get toward the demise.
They're really trying to set up the Paris Agreement of what was it, 1870 or 1880, with Occupy Wall Street. They really are. Just pages from the past.
Pages from the past.
George Santayana said it very clearly in the 1920s. Those who fail to learn from history are doomed to repeat it. And so I want to educate our electorate. I want to have this ideological debate, and all the foolishness of the other side, and how they're trying to call me Joe McCarthy. Well, first of all, I look better than that guy anyhow, so I'm not concerned.
Oh my God!
By looks, but
oh my God!
What you just said was accurate, but. Alan West, thank you so much. And don't sit down, man. We really want to have you on because we see it so rarely that somebody will actually speak the truth. And then after they're pounded in the sand, stand by it. And I haven't seen a politician say anything close to what you said, and then after a week or so being pounded for it. You come back and you say it again in the same strong terms, and then I admire for it.
Well, gentlemen, always remember that the Spartans at Thermopylae, even though they were encircled, they still stood in the gap of Thermopylae, and they stood upon the principles that they had sworn to their city-state. So I stand upon the oath that I took to support and defend the Constitution of this great nation against all enemies.
God bless you, man.
God bless you.
God bless you. Thank you so much. And you notice he left off foreign and domestic. And I think he did it because maybe we're not sure about are they foreigners or domestic? We don't know.
We don't know. Have you seen the certificates?
No, I don't think that's
Oh, God.
Again, you're trying to get into another controversy so he comes back on.
I'm serious.
Yes, you're trying to.
No.
Have we seen Soledad's birth certificate, though? I don't think we have.
Yeah, except Soledad doesn't even listen to a word I just said.
We don't know. I haven't seen it. We have no idea.
We do know he came from a polygamous commune in Mexico.
We do know. No, he didn't.
Well, we do know.
Really honestly, we do know this one thing, and it's a very important thing to understand. He's never eaten dog, and he's not a communist.
Okay.
So you got
so be it.
Things right there. Birth certificate, whatever.
Well, forget it.
He's
Yeah,
a communist, and he's eating dogs.
Yeah, right. So
let's move on.
We'll move on.
Give the non-dog eating
non-communist,
non-communist,
okay.
Here's our sponsor this half hour.